this chair has been defiled by a dog, and I'm sure lots of people have that happen, but there's no such thing as a hopeless chair. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to fill in the tufts and cut the old batting off and replace it so we can make a slipcover to rejuvenate this chair. Using an unbleached cotton batting to fill the holes, and the cotton is different than the polyfill, the polyester type. It will retain its depth. It won't fluff up, and it really fills these holes in nicely. I'll do that with every one of these tufted spots. And just enough to cover it and make it feel like it's smooth. And the seat's a little bit deeper, so we don't feel these through the slipcover. This is new foam. It's a brand name of a polyester foam to fill in our bad spots where the dogs chewed literally everything off. But you can use foam rubber, whatever product you like. I'm going to go ahead and cut my new foam to fit in this area right in here, and then come over to the top of the arm. Part of the cutting is I will probably pull some of this out, so not all of this needs the foam. So we'll thin this out, put it in here, and wrap it around. I'm going to hot glue everything. After cutting the shape of the arm of what I need, they're obviously similar. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 of these, and then I'll shape them as I go. The 2-inch depth is a little bit thick, so I'm separating some of the pieces. I'm laying this back on here to make it a little bit more smooth. But in this area, we still have some padding. So I'm going to separate this a little bit more. Cut along this area. I'll show you what I'm doing here. See, I want this to fit underneath here. This will fit under here and should smoothly define itself inside that fabric. I will kind of, now it needs to be a little bit thinner. You might have to work at it to make it right, because you want this to transition as evenly as possible. I'm also going to cut right where this wing comes and curves. And you could do this with any kind of chair. If you have a club chair or whatever kind of chair you have, you can adapt what you need to do for the chair that you have. This area is curved, and you can see it's shaped a little bit differently. So I need to cut some of this bottom portion off also. We don't want it to be sticking out too much. Again, we want all of it to transition from down here. So and then see, all that will be hot glued. We'll put a muslin on top so it appears smooth. Looks like we're pretty close to going ahead and gluing it. Now that we've done the first arm, we are now doing the other one. You can see what I do. We're going to slather this up in a big way, quickly. Get that in there nice and tight. Cut a little bit more off. Let's do a little bit more clipping over here. That down as far as you can. Go back as far as you can. Every chair is different and different damage. Every chair will require something different. pulling this real tight and hot gluing the edge. Now, a helpful hint, if you've put hot glue in the wrong place, wipe the tip of your glue gun, get all the glue off, and then just heat up the hot glue between the two pieces, and it will come apart. That's a really super helpful hint when it comes to touchy areas. We'll just add a little strip right here. Lift this up as high as possible. And get all the original fabric we can in there to hold it together. I've done the first arm. It's unbleached muslin. It's a simple fabric to use, and hot glue. I stapled the front on. Not all chairs have wood to attach staples to, but this one does. So you just wrap it around the best you can, hot glue the heck out of it, and staple it if you can. I'm going to go ahead and start this side. Start down the back. Try not to get my fingers in there. Make sure you don't glue this fabric to the back like this, so we can tuck that slip cover in when that comes time. Smooth this out. Hot glue down here. I'm going to clip around the wing right here. Stretch my fabric a little bit. A little excess. Go under that arm. Myself a little excess on this. That's hot glue right here. Start in the middle. I think I'm going to go ahead and staple this since I have a little bit of wood underneath there. Pull it tight. Work from the middle. Tight. Try to get this transition to be smooth as possible. And looks like we'll need to glue right back here. I have the advantage I do have the wood on the front of this chair, so I'm making pleats. Oops, that one didn't take. Kind of coming in like this. Create it smooth like it would normally be, had it not been chewed to bits. I'm pulling that as tight as possible. That one didn't take either. There we go. Still add a little bit of glue here for security's sake. Keep it flat. Then we're ready to do the back. As you see, I never cut my fabric until I really get there. And so I'm going to go ahead, I've got wood back here, staple this middle section on. I'm going to fold this over. There's a transition, there's a curve, so all of the staples will go in after it's pulled tight. So I have a great spot there. Do it for both sides. You can see how I've made this very smooth. I'm tucking between the back and the seat in as far as it will go. tight, smoothing it as I go. Tuck it in deep. So when you put your slip cover on, everything will be able to tuck in appropriately. There we go. Cutting close to the edge because I tucked so much of that in. I'm clipping all the way around. And the other side. I'm running a bead of hot glue up on the top here. And going to tuck all that in nice and tight. On all the sides I'll do that. Then I'll make a little bit of a pleat. I'm fortunate enough to be able to staple this all the way across to keep it nice and tight. Yours might be different. Your chair will probably be different. And you can hot glue all of this as well if you're not able to staple it. Most chairs do have seat cushions in it. And the beauty of what you might have that way is you won't have to go all across the top of that chair. You'll just have to bring the fabric, the new fabric up where the problem lies. Every one of them is different. Not all chairs are tufted. So only reupholster with this muslin the things that you have to reupholster. The back where I stapled, I'm running a bead of hot glue over all those spots. Keep it secure so it doesn't pull when it's sat on. And then after that, just take the scissors and do a quick clip. Yours might look nicer, but it's going to be covered with a slip cover.